280 pounds, the Junkyard Dog.
Legends of Wrestlemania is a game for folks nostalgic for the heyday of professional wrestling. You can relive Hulk Hogan's famous body slamming of Andre the Giant in WrestleMania 3, or rewrite history by making The Rock connect with that last rock bottom against Stone Cold Steve Austin in WrestleMania 15. Video montages run before each classic event, and since the best wrestling matches are all about the dramatic setup as much as the actual action, these videos are a great way of channeling the excitement of actually watching an event at WrestleMania. It's more exciting than watching a DVD highlight reel too, because you know you're going to get to play the match yourself. But then the action starts and there's this weird disconnect between the videos and the character models. All the wrestlers look like bizarrely over-muscled action figure versions of themselves. This is perfectly fine for a plastic toy, but it gets weird when you have just watched an actual video of a wrestler like Andre the Giant. For all his physical stature, the dude was not exactly cut. Yet his character model looks like someone stuffed shoulder pads and ham hocks underneath his taut, shiny skin. Ugh. Fortunately, it's less disturbing with more modern wrestlers who actually have more chiseled physiques, and the videos are still nostalgic bits of awesomeness, even if you've never heard of King Kong Bundy.
468 pounds, and I'm the man that should be the world champion.
Once the action begins, it becomes clear that Legends of Wrestlemania is also a game for folks who think wrestling games are a bit too complicated these days. The simple controls and limited abilities make it really easy to do every move. You'll spend most of the time hitting the buttons to strike and grapple your opponent, and these will trigger different animations depending on whether your opponent is upright or laid out. As you execute successfully, your momentum meter will increase, which in turn increases your chain level. Grappling at higher levels will deliver stronger attacks, but you're still pressing the same button. Most of the game is spent jamming on these same buttons, with the notable exception of chain grapples. These attacks trigger a series of QuickTime button prompts, and the wrestler who hits the prompted button first will land the attack successfully.
You're looking at one of the most successful superstars that have entered the WWE ring.
You can also taunt,
Rock playing mind games, JR.
Irish whip, and do various environmental attacks around the arena, but you accomplish everything with just a few simple buttons. And this makes the game very accessible. Folks who don't dig complicated controls will feel welcome here, but this simplicity comes at the price of longevity. The action gets repetitive pretty fast, which really lessens the appeal of longer career modes. The WrestleMania Tour mode makes things a little more interesting by sprinkling in goals, like hit your opponent before they hit you, or make your opponent bleed. But you have to pause to see these goals for each match, which can be disruptive for those of us without photographic memories. Though Legends of WrestleMania is more simplistic than, say, SmackDown vs. Raw, it doesn't skim on the wrestling content. There's a full array of match types for exhibition mode, and you can play online in ranked or unranked matches. You can create wrestlers and import characters from SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, and then use these characters to play the long Legend Killer career mode that pits you against ladders of WWE legends. The real thrill, however, is in reliving these classic matches, and Legends of WrestleMania makes this fun and accessible, but the action doesn't really hold up over time. It's not so much that you're pressing the same few buttons all the time, but that every match seems to play out in the same pattern of strike, grapple, strike, quick time grapple, taunt, etc., 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 with some frantic button mashing thrown in occasionally, as if to make you thankful that, hey, at least you're not frantically mashing buttons all the time. Legends of WrestleMania is a pretty shallow game that can be entertaining in short doses, but its simplistic action and lack of long-term appeal make the price of admission to this event just a bit too steep. Better off catching it on pay-per-view.
Maybe you'll believe this, Hogan.
When you tore my shirt off, man, when you tore across your tore the heart and soul out of all the little Hulksters, man, not just me.